Today we're going to do a glutes day, a leg day, a day of the lower half of the body. Of course there'll be abs and, it's Pilates, it's core and everything, but focus on the lower body today. So let's get started. We're going to start actually on our sides for today. And if you have a pillow or yoga block, you can grab it to rest your head on. I'm just going to use my arm, the human pillow, and lay all the way on down. We're going to check that we're lifting up through that bottom oblique here, knitting the frontal ribs in, hips are stacked, and just start to lift and lower the top leg. So one of my favorites here is side lying. We're trying to find stability through the hips, so not letting that top hip roll backwards at all. And you want to hold your neutral spine even when on your side. So you're sticking your butt out behind you, making sure you have a nice fold at the hips, almost like you were sitting in a chair with your best posture. It's very tempting to come into fetal position when we're on our side, but making sure that that's not a thing that's happening here. All right, we're going to take it for another 3, 2, lift and hold it lifted. Draw nice big circles with your knee. So circling around. This is one of my favorite ways to warm up because you're really warming up through the hip joint, making sure we can move in all directions. And then reverse the direction of the circles. Take it for another 4, 3, 2, 1. We hold. You're going to bring your bottom heel to meet your top heel. Press the heels together. We're just going to lower and lift for clamshells. If you need a little bit less, you're going to lower the bottom leg down completely. If you feel like going for it, you can lift that bottom heel up. Take it for another 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold that lift, little pulses up and up. Make sure you haven't started to resort to your fetal position. You're flaring those sits bones back, lengthening that top waistline for 3, 2, 1. Rest it all the way on down. Little love tap here. And then we're going to bring it through to an all-fours position. So finding your shoulders over your wrists, knees under your hips. Give yourself some cat-cows, dropping the belly down towards the floor, rounding the spine up towards the ceiling. You can bump the hips side to side. And then pausing here, shoulder blades nice and wide, frontal ribs knit up and in. We're going to extend that right leg back behind us and then bend it back in nice and slow. So it extends out and in. Just like we were trying to keep our hips stacked and stable before, same exact thing here. So make sure you haven't dumped all of your weight into your left hip. You're placing some weight into that right hand to help yourself stay even and square. If your wrists start to bother you, feel free to come down onto your forearms. It's going to be for another 3, 2. Extend out and hold and extend it out. Tap that leg down towards the floor, and then we lift. It's a tap down and lift. Gaze is slightly forward of the mat, so we're not dropping our head and watching what our leg is doing. Keeping our breath consistent. here for 3, 2. It's a lift and hold. Pull the heel towards the butt and then straighten it out, hamstrings. Last thing here. Keep gauging through those abs. We have 3, 2. Squeeze the heel towards the butt as much as you can. Little pulses up and up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Listen carefully. We're going to bring that right heel forward so it's in line with our hands, and then we'll tuck the back toes, starting with a little hamstring quad stretch here. So you're going to want to tuck that tailbone underneath for me, opening up through the left hip, pulling that right hip back still. We're just going to hold here for a moment, opening up through that left hip flexor, trying to grow nice and tall. One more breath here. And then you'll ground down through that right heel for me, tucking the back toes. We're going to press into the right foot and stand it all the way on up. Feel free to grab a wall if you need it. We'll start to bend through just the front leg. And then you'll press down through the right heel and stand it up. So check if you need to widen or shorten your stance at all. You don't want that knee jutting over the toes. Knee is stacking just in front of the ankle. If you have a lot of knee stuff, maybe just above. Pulling that right hip down and back. We're going to take it through 3, 4, 2. Bend into that front leg and hold. Press down through the heel and then try to pull your right hip down and back, tacking it back here. Press into the right heel so much that you can bring that left foot forward. We're standing all the way up at the top of the mat. Driving through that right heel, we're going to send it back, bending through the knee. Press into the right heel, stand it on up. Go back and up. Try to find that length when you lower. Crown of the head reaches away from the tailbone. For 3, 4, 2. Hold yourself back there next time you're back there. Ooh, off balance. Bring your hands to meet at the front end of your chest. Rotate open to the right, and then back through center. Right and center. You have 3, 2. Last one. Come back through center. Bring your hands towards the floor. Sweep your right leg back. And then come up into a downward dog here, pedaling out through the legs. We pedal. And then you're going to walk your feet forward towards your hands. Sit your booty all the way down. Roll it all the way down. And then onto your side. Coming back to the other side. Take your time setting up. We want a nice strong foundation, right? So we're hugging the ribs in, lifting the top leg, and lowering it down. Finding space through your waistline. It's really easy to crunch into the waist, but you're going to start to use your low back there, and it's not going to really feel so great. How you guys doing? You good? I hope you're good. Hope you're taking time for yourselves. Oof. Keeping the hips stacked. You'll hold and lift and then draw circles. Notice if one side feels different from the other side, very plausible. And then reverse it. Shoulders are relaxed, neck and jaw relaxed. You have 3, 2, 1. Hold that lift. You can do it. Bring the bottom heel to meet the top heel, open and close. My left butt cheek feels like it's going to fall off. So if you're feeling the same way, stick with it. You've got it. You're going to open and hold, little pulse up and up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down, give it a little love tap, and then bring yourself up into your all fours position. Alright, once we're here, remembering you always have the option to come to the forearms. You're going to take that left leg for me and extend it all the way on back. We square off the hips, pull the abs up and in, start to bend that leg in, and extend it back out. Keeping weight in that left hand. And remember that the crown of the head is reaching forward, so we're not dropping the head at all. If you're hypermobile, take a second, make sure you're not locking out in your elbows. Hold it reaching back. We tap the toe down and lift. And it's a tap down and lift. Moving nice and slow. Keep finding that length, reaching through those toes. Lift in, hold it, lifted, pull the heel towards the butt, and then extend it back out. Heel pulls towards the butt, and back out. Squeezing that heel in. For 3, 2, squeeze and hold it, squeeze as much as you can. Nice and slowly bring it all the way forward through the hands. We're going to lift ourselves up and take a little stretch here, tucking the tailbone, squeezing that right glute, trying to lift as tall as you can. If this bothers the knee, you can always roll the mat, bring a pillow underneath your knee, live your best life. Alright, we tuck the back toes, hug the inner thighs up and in, and then stand all the way on up. Bending just into the front leg, and then standing it back on up. Bending that left leg, and up. Adjusting the stance if we need to, and using a wall if you need to. You can see that. I'm a little wiggly today. My glutes are very sore, which is a good thing. But meeting your body with where you're at is really important as well. So not feeling defeated because of having to make adjustments, but feeling supported. And feeling good that you're recognizing your body. Trying to stay one long line here. Back leg is driving down, so ball of the foot pressing into the floor, heel lifted. Bend in that front knee and hold. Press into the left heel. Step yourself up, coming to stand at the front of the mat. We step the right foot back, bending that front knee. We're in our lunge. Ground down through the left heel, stand it up. Use your abs. Stay strong through the back legs. You don't want it to be like a dead fish, right? It's super active. We're trying to move slow. Finding our breath. Let's take it for 3 more. You got it for 2. Next time your right leg is back and you find yourself in that lunge, you're going to hold it there. Pull that left hip down and back. Cross the arms. Or, like we did on the other side, make that little prayer. Extend that leg back. Hold. Make a prayer position with the hands. We exhale to rotate and then draw it back through center. Left hip is pulling down and back. Low abs hugging in. And use the arms to help you pinch the shoulder blades together slightly. For 3, 2, 1. Come through center. Plant the hands down. Step it into a downward dog, paddling out through the legs. Right. We're going to come to crawl just to the center of the mat. So step yourself to the center and then rotate so you're the long way of the mat. Heel toeing your feet out nice and wide. So you want your feet externally rotated here. You're going to press into the legs, bring the hands to the hips, and then stand all the way on up. Again, feet are nice and wide as you lower down into your plie. And then we stand it up. Lower down and up. The ribs are stacking over the hips. So just checking in with those guys. And we're gluing the outer edge of the feet down. Good. The more we can press down into our feet to stand, the more you're going to connect to your legs. All right, let's take it for 3. 4, 2. Get nice and low. Little pulses up and down. Knees press back. Abs hug in. Can you grow tall through the crown of the head? For 5. Little low if you can. 4, 3, 2. Hold it. My legs are shaking. Are your legs shaking? Let's lower a little bit more. Breathe into it. Press those knees open. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Stand all the way up. Bring your hands to the tops of the legs. Drop the right shoulder in. Drop the left shoulder in. Bring it back through center. Stand all the way on up. Hinge at the hips once again, bringing your hands to the ground. This time internally rotating the legs, getting a stretch for the outer hips. letting the head drop if that feels okay. You can walk the hands back. You can walk the hands forward. You can find blocks. And then crawling your hands to the right. Crawling your hands to the left. Taking your time. Bring it back through center. Heel toeing your feet together. All the way together. See if you can here. We're going to try to sit down onto our butts. Come into a crisscross applesauce position with the legs. And just take a second to roll out through the neck. Reversing. And then sitting up nice and tall, take a second to shut your eyes or just soften your gaze. Let your hips be heavy, spine be tall. And just take a second to notice your breath. Notice your heartbeat. Notice the weight of your hands. Thanking yourself for moving, for doing something for you today. Nice and slowly opening the eyes back up. And you guys are all set. Thank you for joining me. I will try to be more consistent with the videos, at least every other week. I promise every other week. Eventually we'll get it to every week. But yeah, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, and until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.